And then this all builds up. This all builds up where you probably see small businesses shut down. You probably seen businesses say, I'm not doing this anymore. You probably seen businesses just go into a mental breakdown, or they can't meet the funds. Like, they're trying their best to pay the content creators what they deserve. They're trying their best to pay their employees what they deserve. The end game is not easy. It is not easy. It's hell on earth. So hopefully you got your water. I had to find it. This is my water. I got my water. I'm gonna be doing my skincare at the same time, so I can, after doing this content, I can just start making dinner, watch some K-dramas, and then go to sleep. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my LED mask, and then, yeah, I gotta move this because my plug is over there. So yeah, let me just go straight into it. Why is it so hard to find a good manufacturer as a small business? I have a lot to say about this topic, but in regards to when you're starting off, I feel like people rely on the manufacturer a little bit too much. They depend on manufacturers to help them with their designs, to provide knowledge on fabric materials, and to provide the best, the final say when it comes to your designs and your styles, right? That is not the case. If you are planning to start a clothing business with no knowledge, no education whatsoever, I advise people to learn just the basic terms when it comes to, for example, number one, tech pack. You need to know what a tech pack is. Number two, you need to know how to do math. Okay, just know how to do basic math. That includes understanding centimeters. US is the only country that uses like the other metrics. So you have to be comfortable and making sure that everything that's being translated back to you is in centimeters or inches. You got to be able to define that very well, okay? And then number three, you need to understand not everyone is as good as they say. Not everyone is as good as they say. I don't know if you can see my eyes. Not everyone is as good as they say, okay? Overall, I want people to view manufacturers just as everybody else. Someone who's starting a business, that's willing to help. They have a few skills, a few years, a few knowledge, yada, yada, yada. But this is your business. This is your design, okay? And no one knows how you want the outcome to be but you. You have to be very careful on how you are communicating what you want. And I can definitely say, with my experience, I learned tech packs, I learned designs, I learned my weakness, I learned my strength. And then from there, I was able to start designing what I wanted. And from what I wanted, along the way, I started learning fabric material weights, difference of fabric material weights by the gram, okay? Because that makes a difference. For example, t-shirts. Every t-shirt is not the same. Why are they not the same? It's not the fabric material. They can all say cotton across the board. It's mostly the weight or the way they double stitch it around the hem, that part, right? So hopefully I'm not in the spurge talking out my ass or whatever, but those are the things I just want to like just highlight overall, that you really need to understand how to communicate and really learn what you're getting yourself into, and knowing how to communicate that to people across the board, especially needing to understand intercultural communication. That is a big thing. Intercultural communication. So now I'm gonna put my toners on. My toners. So I have two toners. I have a brightening toner, and I have a hydrating milky toner. This is me being said. I know sometimes people say, oh, the manufacturer's messed up. It's time for a new one, blah, blah, blah. That part is not easy as well. I have gone through four or five different manufacturers. You will never have the best manufacturer. Like never. As a small business, you would never have the best manufacturer. They're all going to mess up. All of them. The worst, I can't even say the worst one. I have to say the worst scenario that I have dealt with is number one, when the cost per unit is just too high. They don't even do a good job, but they get the inventory done very fast. There are people who has cost per units that are very cheap. They do it very well, great quality, but they don't do it very fast. They expect it to be, oh, it's going to take 5 or 6 months. I don't have 5 or 6 months. I don't have 5 or 6 months. In that scenario, I'm going to try to piece everything together as best as I can. So when you are looking for a manufacturer and you are ready to do a pre-order for your customer, there's a quantity that you assume that'll be good enough, and you have to figure out what their quantity, their low quantity is, their minimum quantity. You need to figure out their minimum quantity is. And for small businesses, when you're dealing with manufacturers, an average is 100. Okay, 100. Now think this through. We're thinking this through. You are a small business. Small. You barely make 50 orders. You have to buy 100. So let's say the cost per unit they said is, t-shirt's going to be $12 for a minimum of 100. That's 1,200, right? But when it comes to small businesses, they like to charge very high. So in my experience, when I first started, I was charged $30. And I was just, and they're like, oh, you have to have 500. I was like, bro, I don't got that. I don't got that. That's unnecessary, and I don't got that. And again, you got to figure out how you can make a profit off of that, right? And still be affordable to your customers. Now, again, I will always say, small businesses, if they are affordable, just know they're not making money. Just know they're not making money. I'm gonna put my mix soon bean acid. I'm gonna try to be like a YouTuber. They are not making money, okay? Because not only you pay the manufacturers, right? You gotta pay for the shipping. I'm hoping I'm not moving too much. You gotta pay for the shipping. Shipping could be like $2,000. And remember, you probably didn't accommodate your price with the shipping and with the custom fees and with the packages. So small businesses have to deal with a lot, you know? And you're probably thinking, like, why would they make it so expensive? Small businesses don't make any money. Why would they do that? They do that only with big corporation. Wrong. They want to make money. So if you're able to give a big corporation a good price, and you know, like let's say if you're a big company and they know you can buy 5,000 units, 10,000 units, 1,000 units, they're like, oh, bet, we're going to get your job done real fast. We're going to give you a great price. You're making us money. We're giving you a great price. You're able to sell to your customers and you're able to make profits. And we want you as our partner. We want you to keep working with us. And hopefully you like our work. Son of a bitches. So that's why people always say, be nice to small businesses, because we don't get the same satisfaction. We don't get the same service. We do not get the same. For my business, I would say I'm very grateful for everything that I've been through and how fast I got things done. I think on average, I have been meeting the 3-month mark when it comes to like pre-orders and stuff. I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. So if you see the company that makes like varsity jackets, track suits, all that stuff, let me tell you, it's not easy. It is not easy. It really takes your brain capacity to function, to communicate, with vendors, intercultural communicate, understand their culture, understand their holidays, their days off, and seeing where they place you as a priority to get things done. Because it's not like an international lawyer, right? You're a small business, and you can only do so much, you can only trust so much. There are times that I have been ripped off. I have been ripped off when I was designing my bags and the guy just took $600. There's like nothing you can do. You have to think in an international perspective. Just because it works in America does not mean it works over there. And this comes up. This comes up. This comes up. Why don't you stay domestic with your manufacturers? Well, they cost double or triple the cost per unit than you would get overseas. So if I didn't get it overseas and I did the same method that I do with my business using domestic manufacturers, Sade, the customers will say, I'm not paying $60 for a sweatshirt, or I'm not paying $80 for a sweatshirt. Imagine if it was domestic. Bro. And then this all builds up. This all builds up where you probably see small businesses shut down. You probably seen businesses say, I'm not doing this anymore. You probably seen businesses just go into a mental breakdown, or they can't meet the funds. Like, they're trying their best to meet the American guidelines. They're trying their best to pay the content creators what they deserve. They're trying their best to pay their employees what they deserve. But the end game is not easy. It is not easy. It's hell on earth. Okay, I was supposed to put this before the vitamin C, but whatever. I don't care. You have to learn how to communicate, intercultural communicate, learn how to communicate with your customers. There is a rule where you don't want to be too transparent with your customers, versus customers love that transparency. My transparency with my customers is only like 30%. That's just me mentally knowing that if I was the customer, like, what do I want to know? I want to know why my order is delayed. But you don't need to know anything further than that, right? Or it just ends up being like a teaching tool, or people being afraid to purchase your product. They want to wait and see how other people wear their stuff. So all of it is just a hot mess. All of it is just a hot mess. It's just a fucking mess. It's just a mess. So in reality, it's super hard for a small business to find a good manufacturer. It's super, super hard. You do not want to rely on them all. You do not want to rely on them, because once you start relying on them, you can become dependent on them and you get stuck with them. And then something bad happens, or the part where you have to shut down your business, and it says nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. So that's why I always tell people, you need to understand how tech pack work. You need to understand your math. You need to understand communication. You need to have patience. You need to have the mental capacity. You need to have prayers. You need to have a drink. You need to do your skincare. You need to go to the gym. And you just got to believe that, what you're doing is something that you're very passionate about. You're not just doing it for the money. Because if you're doing it for the money, trust me, baby, it's going to be a fucking headache. Excuse my language. It's going to be a headache. It is going to be a headache. Once you do have a great partner that you've been with for years, and I'm not saying like you got to give them leeway, or you got to wait for them, or they just charge you out the woo-ha, and then you're just getting bit in the butt with custom fees and shipping. Like, a good manufacturer that when you say you want this and they're willing to like adjust and accommodate to your customer, and you pay an invoice that covers the shipping fee that is not over $2,000 plus the invoice, that would be a dream. That would tell me, hey, I have a partner, I am stable, I'm able to do this. I'm able to just buy items in bulk because I made enough money, and just whatever I design, I'm able just to ship it off right away. But I'm hoping in the future that less than 2 years, my goal is to do that. Like, whenever I design something, I'm able to have it in bulk and just ship it right away. There's no measurement errors. Because believe it or not, Believe it or not, some people just be measuring stuff differently. Like, you know how you measure with the measuring tape and they just be measuring the tip or without the tip, and you're just like, I need you to take a picture on how you measuring things because I don't even know how you 1 inch or 2 inches off what I just told you to do. So, but I am basically done with my skincare. Put my moisturizer on. Looking kind of glass skin. I kind of messed up there at the end, but yeah, thank you so much for joining. I feel so much better that I actually did this content today. 2 videos per week, Linda. Don't drop the ball. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, like, share it with a friend, and I will try to do more things like this and more educational things because knowledge is power. Okay, bye.